What is up, everyone? We are back with the first farming strategy video of this league, and there will be a solid amount of these. But I've been having so much fun playing the league. That's probably why this is a little late. It's about a week and a couple days into the league before I'm even making this video. But I wanted to make sure I got a good amount of gear and some currency under my belt, so it isn't just me speaking nonsense. This is the actual strategy I used to get stuff like my Headhunter, like my Rally Cash boots, and things like that. So make sure you're subscribed. If you are not already, leave a like on the video. It helps, and let's just jump into it. Now, if you've watched enough videos on this channel, you know that I like to keep it incredibly simple. So what I did was I went with the basic harvest with a lot of raw scarab farming, also with the red searing exile. So to go over the tree real quick, we go right up the middle. Go down here, we get a little bit of more increased effective explicit modifiers on here. That makes the maps harder, but it gives them more monster pack size and monster quality of the things that they drop. Go over here, we get some good scarab nodes, because again, we're going to be getting very raw scarabs, and then we go straight into more harvest stuff. You go down here and force harvest with some nodes that give it a higher chance of spawning the harvest. You can get this to basically 100%. Or you can use the Scarab of Harvest, or whatever it is called, to just force it outright. But I do not do that. I have some extra points, so I just force it every time and not worry about the Scarab. R.I.P. Mr. Cop, Soci Penis. Then what we do is take the right side, because we're passing all of these harvest nodes that we will get. Go up here, get some more harvest nodes, get one more to force harvest, give it a higher percent chance. Then you go straight to the center, start getting more of just the raw increased quantity of items found along this ring. Take this harvest node and then get these that give quantity and some rarity. Then we are taking two. You can mess with these, you can get a couple more, you could do your research, see exactly what scarabs are selling for a lot. I picked these two because, one, we use a lot of cartography scarabs. If eventually you are going to want to use these, you do not have to. Off the bat, they sell pretty well just in general, so you can take this anyway, whether you use them or not. And then the ambush scarabs, a lot of the high-end strategies, T17 map farming, a lot of people are using these and using strong boxes, so these sell pretty damn well, so we take this. We also branch off and go down here and get these harvest ones, which just makes certain colors of the harvest not appear as often, and right now yellow is worth the most, so we want less purple and we want less blue, so I put points in this for that. Now for crop rotation, I will go over near the end of this video. A lot of people don't care about crop rotation. Is it worth it? Yeah, in a lot of cases it is, it isn't. I think it more or less evens out whether you use it or not. The only difference is it makes it more interesting. You have to think a lot more. So for the basic version of the strategy, I will not be using crop rotation, but I will go over later how to use it. I do use it pretty often. I switch it on and off all the time, depending on my mood and how much I want to think. Not that it's that much thinking, but you do have to kind of plot what you want to do. Might slow you down a little bit, but it can have extremely high returns if you do it properly. Now I do red searing exarch altars. These are great for consistent currency. The blue ones are more for crappier currency, but you have a chance of getting the divine altar, which is big money. I just go with, especially in the beginning of the league, I just go with the red one to just try and get a steady flow of currency instead of just going for the low chance of getting the big one-hit divine altar. Altars only work if you're in tier 14 plus maps. You can do this strategy perfectly fine in white or yellow maps, so you can just ignore this if you're not quite at red maps, tier 14 plus. That is not a big deal. Now the biggest thing that might change depending on your build is the top hat right here. A lot of people have been calling it the top hat. It is just this row that goes straight up here and straight down here that gives 2% increased effective explicit modifiers on your maps. This raises the drops, the quantity, and everything like that, but it also makes the affixes and suffixes on the map, the negative things, tougher. So when you get this line and then this line down here, this will make the map harder, so you can take points out of this if the maps are too hard for you, because you're going to be wanting to run rare maps, at the very least magic, but probably definitely rare maps for this strategy. But even if you don't take a lot of these, you should work your way up here and get these scarabs spots, especially this one, Remarkable Relics, which just makes the scarabs found your map less likely to be common varieties, so you will get rarer and more worth it scarabs. This is another one, more effect of explicit modifiers on your maps per 5% quality, and you're going to want to be chiseling your maps if you can. If you have the chisels, it is worth it, especially running harvest, because the amount of life force you get is directly related to the quantity on the map, which is another reason we take this circle right here and the inner ring too. We take the inner ring especially because we're working our way there anyways with these harvest nodes. Now this was a strong strategy last league, but now it's even better because, praise the Lord, we have a currency exchange now. This makes selling things a million times easier. Now, I want to preface this. If you use the currency exchange, you are kind of paying a premium if you want instant trades, which is not that big a deal when you run this strategy. You're going to be getting a lot of scarabs and a lot of bubblegum currency, that a lot of it you are not going to flip either way. Most people, if you're like me, it will just sit in your stash this whole time. But with the currency exchange, you get some gold under your belt. You can sell stuff incredibly easily. You get, you know, some ambush scarabs or something like that, just basic ones. You can say, I want chaos orbs. There's a search down here. You can put ambush. You can see I have a bunch of ambush scarabs. Say I just want to sell, 5 of these. They're going for about 11 if you want an instant sale. Now they're down to 10. Very liquid, but if I just want a quick trade, I can say 50 for 5, place order, and it's complete already. And there you go. I have my 50 chaos. Very quick turnaround. It's amazing. This is the greatest thing they've done in a league in a very long time, and they say it's experimental, but if they take it out, we riot. Hashtag, they take it out, we riot. Now, the other thing you can do is you can sell these in bulk on something like TFT. Now, there is an alternative POE exchange that I think Maxroll put out. Don't quote me on that. I just saw a guide to it on Maxroll. I have not messed with it yet. It's probably better than just doing it by TFT, but I have not tried it yet. I will do that this week. I will see if it's better so I can give you a little bit more of a rundown on that. Now I'm going to take 30 seconds to show you how you use bulk sell on TFT. Very simple. What you do is go to the TFT bulk selling tool right here. You log in, it links your account. Make sure you click settlers. Then it's going to load your tabs. You click the tab your scarabs are in. You click scarab over here. You say how much that you want to sell them for. If you want them to sell fast, you can go 90% instead of 100% of the price. Click select tab. It's going to show you all of your scarabs. You can see which ones are worth the more. They put them at the highest. You see my tabs at about 11 divine now. I have been bulk selling them at the end of the day. Usually put your in-game name in, and then you click generate image. You wait for it to say the image is copied to your clipboard. You go to the TFT Discord want to sell in bulk scarabs. You paste the image in there. You go down to generate text. Wait for that to get copied to the clipboard. You paste that in. You hit enter, and usually someone will whisper you pretty quick. Unless you have a very low amount of scarabs, people usually want a higher amount. A lot of these are resellers. They don't want to do a whole bunch of trades with people. They just want usually the big bulk stuff. So again, don't do this at the end of every hour, every 2 hours. You play a lot at the end of the day. If you don't play as much, maybe every couple days or the end of the week. Now for harvest, it's incredibly simple. The Sacred Grove is right here. This is the harvest mechanic. It has this little blue icon on the map as well that you can look out for. And it's just simply higher blue number, better. So you can see right here, this has 2 1 blues. So it doesn't matter which one I pick. You click on these, monsters are going to spawn. If you want to prioritize yellow ones, so you can see right here, this one is 1 blue, 1 yellow. You will click the 1 yellow one. Reason for this, they are paired off. There are 2 right here. There's 2 right here. There's 2 over here, and then there's 2 down here that we just saw. When you click one of these, the other one is most likely to go away. Now, one of the Atlas passive nodes we take gives it a chance that the other one will not wilt, which means you will get both, but it's only about a 10% chance that it'll stay, so don't bank on that. So you just click on the yellow one if it's the higher number, or if it's even because the yellow life force is worth the most. You kill the monsters. The more blue monsters, which are the guaranteed ones to drop essence, namely this guy right here is the one that you saw on the list. He is guaranteed to drop the life force. That's why you want the higher blue number. Now, if you go to one and there isn't a blue number at all, this one has a blue number, but say they both were just plain white or lame like this, I actually usually will skip them. Unless you're doing crop rotation, we'll go over that in a minute. But if you are just doing it regularly without crop rotation, I usually just skip ones that don't have anything worth it. Also, real quick, make sure you are chiseling your maps as white so you get the 5%. If you have a decent, or if you have a rare map, it is worth it to scour it to white. Hit it 4 times with a chisel to get it to max 20%, and then hit it with an elk to get the most item quantity possible for the harvest. Now, when you use crop rotation, you're going to change the atlas tree a little bit. What you're going to do this time is you're going to actually go through and do the full yellow one, even though they are the most worth it. But you want fewer yellow plants, because what happens is when you pick a plant like a purple or a blue, any yellows that are still up after you do that purple or a blue are going to get more powerful. Now, you will see all of the crops start at pretty much nothing, which means you are going to want to try and do the ones that you want the most, namely those 2 yellows up there, last. So what you would do is you would do the purple ones first, hope that the other purple doesn't wilt, because again, the more of the other colors you can do before you do the yellow, the better it is for the strategy. I'll drop a little essence. Then I'm going to do the blue. You can see now they have white monsters. They got a little bit stronger. Do the one with more white. I'm going to do the blue. That will empower the yellow even further. Now this is a 3 harvest one. You can get 3, 4, or 5 on these. So this is a crappy one. But for the sake of time, I'm not going to keep going and running maps just for the sake of running harvest for this video. But hopefully you will see. There we go. We got a 3 on this one. We empowered it. And then you run the 3 blue one last to get the most harvest. That is the basic strategy of crop rotation. There are other strategies. There are quite a few with certain situations that you can get into. You can see right there we got about 954. That's about 15 chaos. Just like that. So very simple strategy. They even changed it so harvest only needs 1 click. So they made it even more a little bit brain numb. Now some of these monsters can get a little difficult, so be very careful. If you're ranged, get some distance. If you're melee, stand on the outside of the pack. Don't spawn everything and then stand in the middle unless you are very confident that you can take the hit. But I do usually run crop rotation on my streams, so make sure you're followed over on twitch.tv/StayFunTalk, where I will gladly go over some more in-depth strategies, or I'll do it in a future video. But for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through all of the crop rotation strategies for different scenarios. Now for Scarabs, this is not necessary. I ran this without Scarabs for quite a long time. Now what I use is the Harvest Scarab of Doubling. If you are doing rare maps that are chiseled, the Harvest Scarab of Doubling is worth it. It works out to making you a good amount more life force, but they are expensive. So until you have a decent amount of currency under your belt, you know, a couple, like 100 chaos or a divine or 2 to burn, I would not use these off the get-go, just in case you are not doing fully juiced maps, but if you are, these are very much worth it. The other ones I run, both for map sustain and also for more tier 17 map drops, if you're running tier 16 maps, is the Cartography Scarabs. The one where non-unique maps are corrupted with 8 modifiers. If you can run these and your build does not have a whole lot of negatives, by negatives I mean can't run a ton of different mods, you know, like Reflect or cannot leech, or if they're all piling up, when you drop these corrupted 8 mod maps, you obviously cannot change them, you cannot scour them, you cannot do anything. So they are very worth it because they have very high quantity. Just be careful with them. Make sure your build is not only strong enough to handle them, but your build can deal with the negatives. But again, these are not necessary. These are just some things you can run for some better maps and some better map sustain. This one is good if you're running rare maps or ones that have a whole lot of map modifiers on it. That is just, you know, the minus maximum resistance, reflect, monsters gain power charge and hit. Each one of those is an extra 10% to the amount of maps that you find. And then if your build can run a lot of modifiers no matter what they are, you can use one of these ones that add another modifier. But again, you do not have control over this, so be very careful if there are a lot of modifiers that brick your build or make it so it's not able to do the map. Lastly, if you're selling the essence and you do it by currency exchange, you're going to pay a premium on that. I suggest waiting until you have about a divine worth of some of these essences and just selling them. I keep calling them essences, life force. I just suggest selling the life force out of the tab. To do that, say you want to sell 8,000 life force at 1 divine, you would simply just make the tab public. Wherever it is, it can be a currency tab, it can be just a premium stash tab. the whatever tab that you want. You put in, I want 1 divine slash for 8,000 life force, and that is how you type it in. What you want is always on the outside, and how many you have is on the inside in between. That is just how you sell them, like that. And that is it, guys. That is the first farming strategy. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what about the port and the league mechanic? Yes, that is going to be a whole nother video that I am going to do tomorrow, but most likely Wednesday. So possibly tomorrow, most likely Wednesday. That is a whole nother thing. I do have a strategy for that that is working very well, but you're going to have to get subscribed and just watch out for that video. For now, make sure you get followed again on twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk, and leave a like and comment down below how you're liking the league. I absolutely love it. Again, that's why I probably took so long to make a video this league when I usually do it, 4 or 5 days in, spend over a week, because I just want to keep playing. I am having a blast with this league. So again, let me know in the comments how you're feeling, how you're liking it, and we will catch you on the next one.